by the parents since the time of the removal of Chase and Holly. I'd like to direct your attention to the services that were ordered for the mother in this particular case. Since the removal of the children in October 2022, has the mother completed parenting classes?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
When did she complete those?
March 14th of 2023.
And then did she complete a psychological evaluation?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
When did she complete that?
I want to say it was March 6th of 2023.
And were there recommendations that she needed to complete related to that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were those recommendations?
A psychiatric evaluation to also consider medication management, as well as individual counseling.
And has she provided any documentation to you that she is submitted to a psychiatric evaluation?
No, ma'am.
Has she indicated to you that she's initiated individual counseling?
No, ma'am.
With respect to drug testing, was the mother ordered to complete drug testing in the November 2022 order?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to discuss that with you a little bit. When did you first ask that the mother submit to drug testing during your tenure on the case?
October 2022.
And did she submit to that within 24 hours of your request?
No, ma'am.
Did you ask her to submit in November?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she submit in November?
No, ma'am.
And did you ask her to submit in December of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she submit in December of 2022?
Yes, ma'am. She did not submit, but I asked her. Yes, ma'am.
So to clarify, she did submit or did not submit, or something else?
She was asked in December 2022. She didn't submit that actual month when asked to submit for drug testing.
When you asked her in December of 2022, when did she actually go?
January, the beginning of January.
Did you ask her to submit to drug testing in February of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she submit?
No, ma'am.
Did you ask her to submit in March of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she submit?
No, ma'am.
With respect to the testing that you requested from October of 2022 until March of 2023, and yes or no, did the mother provide an explanation to you about why she did not submit to that drug testing?
Yes, ma'am.
And what explanation, if any, did she provide to you?
Usually that she can't get off of work and go within 24 hours.
And despite citing having work, did she ever submit late, if you will, rather than not testing at all?
Yes, ma'am. Her December drug test she was sent for, she did not submit that within 24 hours. She submitted late in January 2023.
And during that, was she illegal for any illegal or unprescribed drugs?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
Marijuana.
And with respect to visitation, from September until January of 2022, was the mother visiting with her children?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you become aware that she had conditions of bond that prohibited her having contact with her children?
Yes, ma'am, in January 2023.
And so is it fair to say because of those court orders, she has not visited since then?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss with the mother any potential relative or kinship placements for these children?
Yes, ma'am.
And with what type of frequency have you inquired with the mother about that?
After parent-child visits that were being held, regular phone calls to mom.
Now, you said after parent-child visit, she hasn't visited since January, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So since January, what have you done to inquire with her about potential relative or kinship placements?
We Asked her, and she mentioned her mother being a placement for her, for the children, well, for Jaquan.
And there was a reference to it previously in testimony. And have you had more than one family group conference in this particular case?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many FGCs have there been?
2 total.
And during those FGCs, what names, if any, were provided for potential relative placements for these children?
I can't say for the first one because I didn't attend the first one, but for the second one, they were asked about relatives and no relative names were given.
And so you just testified that the grandmother she requested a home study for placement of one of the children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And which child was that?
For Jaquan Miller.
And did she indicate that she was willing to be considered for Chase?
No, ma'am.
And did she specifically decline to be considered for Chase?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about Miss Wendy? Did she ask to be considered for Holly?
No, ma'am.
Did she cite a reason why?
She didn't say, she just said that she wouldn't be willing for all 3.
And was a home study prepared and reduced to writing that was filed among the papers of the court?
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to the the maternal grandmother on this case, what is the department's concerns as it relates to Miss Wendy?
Protective capacity of the children, as well as the children being removed from that home with both incidents. And then her not willing to accept take all 3 children for placement.
So let's take those one at a time.
Mhm.
With respect to placement of all 3 children, has she ever indicated a willingness to care for all 3 children?
No, ma'am.
With respect to protective capacity, did she seem to appreciate the medical urgency of Jaquan's needs?
No, ma'am.
Does she appear to appreciate the danger in Chase being physically assaulted?
No, ma'am.
And you heard the previous testimony that the mother and grandmother lived in the home where Jaquan suffered these medical injuries, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did that play into CPS's consideration about her ability to meet his medical needs?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the children, has Miss Wendy visited with the children while they've been in foster care?
Not since I've had the case, she has not.
And has the mother provided any other relative or kinship placements other than Miss Wendy that she has asked CPS to consider?
No, ma'am.
Now turning to the father in his court-ordered services, and you heard his testimony that he had not completed any of the court-ordered services that were ordered in November 2022, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that consistent with your records?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he provide an explanation to you about why he did not complete those services?
Mostly work.
And did you set up services here in Dallas, in Houston, or something else?
All virtual services in Dallas County. And some of them, one provider is actually based in Houston but offers virtual services.
So to be clear, he was in Houston, the services were virtual. Is that your testimony, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
And was he able to schedule those at his convenience?
Just one service. Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to visitation, from the time that you got the case in September of 2022 until January of 2023, was the father visiting consistently with his children?
Some visits were consistently, and then it went off in January 2023 with no visits.
And so when you say, let's focus on September until December, was he visiting consistently from September of 2022 until January of 2023?
No, ma'am, not consistently. Some here, some there.
And when you say some here, some there, with what type of frequency was he missing his visitation?
A visit once, skip 2-3 weeks, and then visit again.
And starting in January of 2023, you said that visitation decreased, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And did he provide an explanation to you about why he stopped visiting?
No, ma'am. There was no contact really between in January.
Is there anything about CPS's behavior that restricted his ability to visit?
No, ma'am. He was offered visits and informed that mom wasn't, but he decided not to visit.
And were those in-person, virtual, or some other type of visitation?
In-person visits.
Did you offer him virtual visitation?
Yes, we have offered virtual. He's only completed one virtual visit.
And when is the last time that he has seen his children?
Virtually in March.
Do you recall what date?
I want to say it was March. I want to say the 15th. I mean, like the 31st, I want to say, but it was the end of March.
And prior to that, when is the last time that you show that he visited?
January 12th.
With respect to relative or kinship placements, have you inquired with Mr. Miller about potential relatives or family friends that could take care of the children?
Yes, ma'am.
With what type of frequency?
After every mostly visit that they had at the office, parent-child visits, as well as conversations over the phone every time we would talk.
And so I'd like to turn your attention again. Similarly, he hasn't visited at the office since January, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So since January, what method of communication, if any, have you had with him about potential relative or kinship placements?
Really none, besides the FGC one.
And that was something that was specifically requested or addressed at the FGC, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Miller provide any relative or kinship placements at that juncture?
No, ma'am.
And you heard his testimony today, citing somebody by the name of Ashley, somebody by the name of Fortune, and somebody by the name of Shaniqua, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he provided any of those names to you previously to be considered for any of the children?
He mentioned the name of Ashley.
Did he say how she is related to the children, if any?
The children's aunt, his sister.
Did you reach out to Ashley?
No contact information was provided, and he stated that he wouldn't be able to take the children in.
Did you ask Mr. Miller for the contact information for Ashley?
Yes, ma'am.
And to date, has he ever provided that to you?
No, ma'am.
And I'd like to talk to the children about each of the children's individual needs. I'd like to start with Chase. And how old is Chase?
Chase is 7 years old.
And what grade is he in?
He's in first grade.
And what services, if any, does he receive through CPS?
He receives behavioral therapy, speech therapy, and play therapy.
And does he have any diagnoses in terms of behavior or development that the court needs to be aware of?
Not no actual diagnosis. We're actually pending a assessment.
And what type of assessment is he pending?
My ADHD autism assessment.
And is that being done through his primary care provider, a specialist, or something else?
Through a counselor, a psychological office.
And if you know, when is that scheduled for him?
He's completed it. We're just waiting on the report.
And with respect to Jaquan, how old is Jaquan?
Jaquan is 5.
And what grade is he in?
He's in kindergarten.
And in terms of services through CPS, what services does he receive?
Play therapy and behavioral therapy.
And does he have any behavioral or mental health diagnoses?
No, ma'am.
And does he have any educational needs?
No, ma'am.
And in terms of medical needs, what type of medical treatment does he require?
He requires frequent dermatologist visits and primary care physician visits.
Does he have any known allergies?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
Peanuts.
And does he have a current dermatology provider that sees him on an ongoing basis?
Yes, ma'am.
And since you have had the case since September of 2022, has Jaquan required any additional hospitalizations?
No, ma'am.
And has he required any emergency room treatment for his eczema?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
In December 2022, to get a medication refilled.
Other than the medication refill, has he had any emergency circumstances with his eczema since you have had the case?
No, ma'am.
And I'd like to turn your attention to Holly. How old is Holly?
She's 2.
And does she have any developmental or behavioral needs that the court needs to be aware of?
No, ma'am.
And does she have any medical needs?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are those?
She recently had ear tube surgery due to consistent ear infections.
And does she have seasonal allergies?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And with the ear tubes, was that based on the recommendation of her primary care physician?
Yes, ma'am. It was my audiologist also recommended it.
And was that routine surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there any complications from that?
No, ma'am.
Other than her ear tube surgery, does she have any other significant medical needs that the court needs to be aware of?
No, ma'am.
And without saying the name of the actual placement, what type of placement are the children currently in?
They're in a foster home.
Are they together or separate or something else?
They're together.
And how long have they been in the same foster home together?
Since April the 10th of 2023.
And prior to April 10th, if you would describe for the judge which children were placed in which homes in terms of how were they divided up?
Chase and Holly were placed in the foster home when their removal occurred in October of 2022, and Jaquan was in his initial foster home. He was recently removed to a new foster home in February of 2023.
And so Jaquan, from October of 2021 until February of 2022 was in one foster home?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Chase and Holly were in a different foster home from the time they were removed in September through today's date, is that correct?
It's from October 2022 to April the 10th of 2023.
And is the current placement a dual licensed home?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the permanency plan for Chase?
Termination. Unrelated adoption.
And what about for Jaquan?
Termination, unrelated adoption.
And what about Holly?
Termination, unrelated adoption.
Their current foster placement has, and that foster mother indicated a desire or intent to adopt these children if they are free for adoption.
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Other than pending the court's ruling today, are you aware of any immigration or other legal barriers that would preclude these children being eligible for adoption if the parents' rights are terminated?
No, ma'am.
Now, with respect to the parents and their current living situation, you heard the father testify that he lives alone, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the father provide a copy of a lease to you?
No, ma'am.
Have you requested that from him repeatedly?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he cite to you why he refused to provide that?
He stated that it wasn't none of CPS's business.
Did the father indicate to you whether or not he intended to live with the mother or not?
Yes, ma'am.
What did he tell you about that?
He stated that he was currently living in Houston and that the mother will be moving there in the next couple of days. He was getting everything situated.
And when was it that he told you that the mother was moving in with him?
March 20th of 2023.
Has Mr. Miller allowed you to view his residence?
No, ma'am.
Have you asked to view his residence?
Not in particular, no, ma'am.
And have you inquired with the mother about where she is living?
Yes.
And what did she tell you about her living situation?
She stated that she was living in Houston, but then she stated that she was living with a friend.
Did the mother indicate to you that she planned to live with the father?
She said that they were going to be moving together, yes.
And you heard the mother testify earlier today that she was living with her mother, correct?
Yes.
And when you completed the home assessment on the grandmother, what is the family and what is the living situation of who lives in the grandmother's home?
So the home study was contracted out, but per the home study document, maternal grandmother and her daughter live in the home.
And is that daughter a adult, a minor, or something else?
She's a minor.
With respect to Mr. Miller, there were some questions posed about whether he had ever punched his child. Did you hear those questions previously?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any allegations that he has physically abused any of the children?
Per CPS history, but not like currently or anything.
Does Mr. Miller, do you believe he has a working understanding of Jaquan's medical needs?
No, ma'am.
With respect to Jaquan's medical treatment, did you offer opportunities for the mother to attend medical appointments for Jaquan?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she attend any of those?
No, ma'am.
Did you offer those same opportunities to Mr. Miller?
No, ma'am. We did not have any offer those same opportunities to Mr. Miller.
And why is that?
That I cannot really say. We didn't offer that to Mr. Miller.
Do you believe that would have been something helpful for him?
Maybe, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Attorney McKinney, it looks like mom dropped off.
Okay, I'll stop your honor. Okay. Oh, my video turned off. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
I mean, you are in the county building, so.
I would like to blame it on that, so we'll just go with that. I was just, I was questioning away, and I apologize. If I had noticed, I would have turned it back on.
Oh, no, it's fine. It actually clicked off a little bit, but I mean, it was a lot going on with Odyssey and everything earlier, so I just figured it was the network.
I did not click it off, Your Honor, and I'll be mindful and attempt to turn it back on if I notice it.
Okay, no worries. Okay, she's back. Let me give her an opportunity to connect to the audio. Ms. Parks, can you hear us? You're on mute, Ms. Parks.
I can hear y'all now. I'm just a little hurt, so that's why I'm not saying anything, but I can hear y'all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Attorney McKinney, you may continue.
And thank you. And with respect to Mr. Miller, does he appear to?
Hold on, she dropped off again. And we can go off the record. Attorney Watson, do you know if your client is having connection issues?
She is not disclosed that to me, Judge. It seems like she is. I will try and get some further clarification for the court.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, looks like she's trying to connect again. And Attorney McKinney, I stopped your time. So
Thank you, Judge.
Well-
May I have a time check?
yes, you have 29 minutes and 32 seconds.
Great, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. We're back on the record. You may proceed.
Thank you.
And Attorney McKinney, did you need the last couple of questions that you asked?
I'm going to pass the witness for now, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Attorney Watson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McQueen, you stated that you offered Ms. Parks some additional medical education at some point.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And when did you offer that?
In October, Jaquan had 2 medical appointments, specialist appointments, and she was offered to attend those visits.
So just to make sure I understand you correctly, it wasn't any specific training, but you offered for her to be able to attend 2 medical visits.
Yes, ma'am, since she had concerns of the treatment that he was receiving.
And both of those appointments you said were in October of last year?
Yes, ma'am, October the 5th and October the 7th.
You stated that she completed her parenting class and her psychological evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
You also stated that from that psychological evaluation that there were recommendations.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Did you make Ms. Parks aware of the recommendations from that psychological evaluation?
She was sent a copy via email of the psychological evaluation.
And when did you send that email?
The same day that I received it.
Do you recall approximately when that was?
I want to say it was like 2 weeks afterwards.
2 weeks after what?
That I received it. She done it on March the 6th.
Okay. So somewhere in the month of March of this year, you believe that email was sent?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay. Where did you set up individual counseling for Ms. Parks?
Virtually
Through what provider?
through Butler Psychological Group.
And the psychiatric evaluation, was there a specific provider that was supposed to be done through?
Yes, I mean, she completed through Butler Psychological Group.
You said she did complete it or it was supposed to be completed?
Her psychological, she completed through Butler Psychological Group.
I'm sorry, maybe I misspoke. The psychiatric.
No, ma'am, she did not complete her psychiatric evaluation.
And where was that psychiatric evaluation? What provider was supposed to provide that?
It's virtually, she has the choice to go through Metro Care because we usually don't really have any providers that would pay with the state for the psychiatric evaluation.
Okay. Was a 2054 sent to Butler for the individual counseling?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that sent approximately in the end of March when you, or mid to the end of March when you obtained the psychological evaluation?
No, her 2054 was sent in December. She didn't initiate the services, so I resent it again the beginning of the year.
Okay, let me back up. So you said the psychological evaluation, you didn't get the result, you didn't get that evaluation until March of this year, correct?
Yes, ma'am. She completed in March of this year.
And it was a recommendation of that evaluation that recommended the individual counseling?
Yes, ma'am, but she was also court ordered to do individual counseling as well.
Okay, so they recommended counseling that she was already ordered by the court.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Right. Okay, thank you for that clarification. And regarding her drug tests, you indicated that the January 2023 test was positive for marijuana only. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it typical or the policy of the department to remove children based on exclusively marijuana use?
No, ma'am.
When you made the drug test request for Ms. Parks to submit, by what method did you do that?
I usually send emails, text messages, as well as try to call all parents on drug tests.
So are you saying that you did all three of those things for each request, or for each request there was a varying method?
Yes, for each request, I always send emails, text message, and try to call the parents, yes.
Okay, and you're indicating that's what you did with Ms. Parks. You emailed, you sent a text message, and attempted a phone call.
Yes, ma'am, as well as due to not getting responses from the other text messages and calls, I started CCing in attorney on email.
Okay. You said that Ms. Parks indicated that her work schedule was the barrier that she articulated to you that she was experiencing regarding taking her drug tests in the 24-hour period. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you and Ms. Parks ever have a conversation regarding her work schedule so that the test could be scheduled around that?
Not in depth, no, ma'am, we did not.
Okay.
Because we usually don't give an advance on drug tests. It's random.
Okay. Did you have any information regarding the location where she worked?
No, ma'am, just knew she worked at a hospital at the time.
Do you have any idea as to the distance between her work location and the facility in which you were sending her to test?
No, ma'am, I did not. I usually just send the closest to the residence.
Okay. A past witness.
Thank you. Attorneys, I can't remember if I called Mr. Sullivan or Reveles. I can't remember.
You sort of alternate a little, Your Honor.
Yeah, I was gonna say you switch it up, Your Honor, but you can call Mr.
It
Sullivan
doesn't
first.
make any difference to me.
Okay, go ahead, Attorney Sullivan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, so Mr. Parks has told you that he has a suitable home in Houston, right?
Mr. Miller?
Mr. Miller, pardon me. He has
Yes.
told you that he has a suitable home in Houston, right?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't asked to see it, have you?
No, we have not.
It wouldn't really be very practical for you to drive down to Houston to see it in any case, would it?
If we get approval, yes.
Okay. That would take, how long would it take to get approval?
Not long at all.
Okay. It's a fairly important question whether there is a suitable home that these children could be returned to, yes?
Yes, if the home is viewed and is suitable, yes.
Okay, well, of course, it's not gonna be viewed if you don't ask to view it, is it?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Okay, Attorney Reveles.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss McQueen,
Yes.
sorry, I've been addressing you by your first name this whole case. Miss McQueen, what are your concerns for, if the court were to return these children to Mr. Miller at this time?
Concerns that Ms. Parks would be in the home
Okay,
and
and
have access to the children.
okay, and do you have any way of knowing if Mr. Miller is clean right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and throughout this case, was Mr. Miller ordered to take drug tests?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he take those drug tests?
No, ma'am. None of that I've sent him for. He has not taken.
Did he take any drug tests?
He took a drug test with the previous caseworker in July of 2022.
So almost a year ago.
Yes, ma'am.
And was that drug test positive for any illegal substances?
Yes, ma'am. It's positive for marijuana.
Okay. Now, Mr. Miller, well, would you agree that it has been a goal of mine, at least as the guardian, to try to find family to take these children throughout this case? Would you agree with that?
Objection
Yes.
calls for speculation or hearsay.
She's already answered, Your Honor. And seeing as how we worked on this case with these children, observed visits and everything, she would have knowledge of that. So she would not be speculating.
She would have knowledge as to Ms. Reveles' actions. She would have to speculate.
She would, because we've worked the case together.
No, I concede that she has knowledge of your actions. I don't mean to disagree with that.
Yeah, the objection did come late. It's a little further down. So you may proceed, Attorney Reveles.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And so, Ms. McQueen, Mr. Miller actually testified earlier that of some specific names of people who he says would be suitable for the children to go to.
Mhm.
Have you done home studies on any of those individuals?
No, ma'am, I've not.
Why have you not done home studies on those individuals?
We was only given the name of Ashley. I'm not sure of the other two names that were stated.
Okay, so though the whatever other names were stated
Mhm.
today was your first time knowing about those people, or your first knowledge of those individuals.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Did you contact there were and I don't have the names right here, but during the family group conferences, I think we had 2 or 3 during this case. There were family members who showed up in support of the children and the parents. Is that true?
The first one I knew from reading the report, aunt came on, but I'm not sure because I didn't attend the first one. With the
Okay.
second one, yes, maternal grandmother, she attended
Okay.
the FGC.
And they were pretty passionate about their position with regards to the children. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, ma'am, maternal grandmother was at the second one, yes.
Okay. And so did you inquire with these individuals if anybody was willing to take these children, even if they, maybe had to be split up between 2 sisters, or any kind of way that we could place these children with family?
Yes.
And what was the result of that?
They didn't have any family members that was willing to take all 3 children. Maybe Jaquan, but no names were provided. With Chase, no family members due to the allegation that was made on the case.
Now, the home study on the maternal grandmother was only for Jaquan, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And specifically with regards to Jaquan has been in foster care for about 18 months. Would you agree with that statement? About approximately.
Yes, ma'am.
Essentially this entire case.
Yes.
And he was never returned home at any point. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. And so with regards to Jaquan, can you tell this court, how has his condition improved since he has been in care, if it has?
Yes, ma'am. So his condition has improved. His skin is very clear. He doesn't scratch as much, only during frustration, but his skin is very clear and free of any kind of open wounds or anything.
And with regards to the blood infection and some of the more severe concerns connected to the medical neglect, have all of those things been observed? Been resolved?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And what is his current treatment plan, or what is his current regimen? What has to be done in order to take care of Jaquan, and what has to be done in order to keep him healthy?
He has to use sensitive detergent, sensitive soap. He also has 4 creams that he uses daily. Well, one of them is considered a body oil, but he has 3 creams that he uses daily. They're twice a day, in the morning and at night, as well as he does have the body oil to use. That one is twice a day as well. He also has a oral medication, hydroxyzine for itching, that he takes at night.
Okay, and so just hearing that sounds fairly easy to do. It doesn't sound like that takes any, specialized knowledge. Why is it that you guys have concerns about the parents or grandparents being able to do that?
Because it wasn't done like in the beginning, like of the case.
Okay, and throughout the case, have the parents and or maternal grandparents mindset shifted to now believe that these things are necessary in order for this child to be healthy?
Objection
ma'am,
for speculation.
Hold on 1 second. What was your objection, Attorney Sullivan?
It was me, Your Honor, and I was objecting to cause for speculation.
I can ask it a different way, Your Honor.
I was getting ready to ask, did you want to rephrase that question?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McQueen, my question to you is, what actions or even words have the parents displayed or expressed to show you that even though we didn't take this seriously and we didn't think it was a big deal and we didn't realize that he could die, now we get it. And now I understand, and now we're going to do what we need to do to keep this baby healthy?
Never.
Okay. When was the last time the department took Ms. Parks or Mr. Miller, the parents, for a drug test?
In March of 2023. The last day. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were those tests taken?
No, ma'am.
Did they go for the test?
No, ma'am, they do not.
Okay, so when was the last test that the department sent them for and they actually took it and you actually got results?
Dad hasn't took none that I have sent him for. Mom, she was sent in December of 2022. She took it the beginning of January 2023, and that one was positive. It was a hair strain positive for marijuana.
Okay, and so does it seem to be that marijuana is the drug of choice with regards to these parties?
Yes, ma'am.
Have they ever tested positive for anything else?
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney McKinney?
Sorry, pass the witness.
Okay. Any other questions for this witness?
Not for me, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused.
And she's my designated representative, so if she can just remain in the courtroom, that would be great, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'd like to call Amber Waters, and she is in the waiting room, Judge.
I am admitting her right now. Okay, Attorney McKinney, you may proceed.
Thank you. If you will state your name for the judge, please, Ms. Waters. You're on mute, if you'll take yourself off mute.
Sorry, Amber Waters.
And Ms. Waters, how are you currently employed?
I'm a CVS worker, CPS.
And how long have you been employed in that capacity?
Almost 2 years.
And were you the caseworker previously assigned to the Chase Miller case?
Yes.
What time frame were you assigned to the case as the conservatorship worker?
I was assigned the case when it first came to CVS in October of 2021 up until September of 2022 when I went on medical leave.
And is that the reason that you were removed from the case is because of your medical treatment, correct?
Correct.
And during the time that you were assigned to the case, were you responsible for facilitating services for the parents and the children in this case?
Yes, I was.
And with respect to Holly and Chase, we heard testimony previously that they were returned to the mother at the 14-day hearing. Were you part of that hearing?
I was not part of that hearing. I was assigned after they were already returned.
And from the time that the children were returned to the mother in November of 2021 until you went on medical leave, did you have an opportunity to see Chase and Holly in the mother's home?
Yes, in the grandmother and mother's home, yes.
And who lived in that home?
Miss Parks, the mother, and maternal grandmother.
And were there any other children other than Chase and Holly living in the home?
No, not that I was aware of.
Did you see Miss Parks's sister living in the home at the time?
I saw her on a couple of visits. I wasn't sure she was living there or not.
But you observed her in the home?
Yes, I did.
And with respect to Chase and Holly's care while living with the mother between November of 2021 until you went on medical leave, was there anything out of the ordinary in terms of the children's day-to-day care that caused you concern?
Aside from attendance issues at school with Chase, that was the only issue that I came across as far as concerns.
Is it fair to say that them Chase and Holly living in their mother's home was fairly unremarkable during that time period? Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And with respect to the father, did you attempt to make contact with him while you managed the case and from November of 2021 until your leave on medical leave?
Yes.
And how did you attempt to engage him?
We spoke on the phone, we would text, and also I would see him from time to time when he would attend the parent-child visits.
And I'd like to direct your attention to those parent-child visits. Although Chase and Holly were with their mother, Jaquan was in foster care when you had the case, correct?
Correct.
Were you responsible for scheduling visitation for the mother and father with Jaquan while he was in foster care, but his siblings were home?
Yes, I was.
And in terms of visitation, in November of 2020, did the parents visit consistently? Or 2022, did the parents visit? Strike that. I'm going to start over. November of 2021, did the parents visit consistently in the month of November 2021?
That was the second month the case was open.
Yes.
We were having issues getting the parents in consistently for visitation.
And did they cite to you why they were having trouble visiting?
They told me that they were having transportation barriers at times, and sometimes it was work.
Did you offer to provide them bus passes to facilitate that visitation?
Yes, I did offer them bus passes at one point.
Did they accept those?
I never got around to giving it to them.
And why is that?
It was difficult for me to track them down. Whenever I would catch them at the visits, it just wasn't on a consistent basis.
And did they visit consistently in December of 2021?
No, ma'am.
With respect to January of 2022, And how many times did the parents either miss a visit or show up late?
3 times.
And in February of 2022, how many times did they miss or show up late?
3 times.
What about March of 2022?
On March, mom missed 1 visit and dad missed 3.
And then April of 2022, what type of visitation did they exercise, if any?
It was still inconsistent. They did no show for 1 visit.
And then from May of 2022 until you were off of the case for your medical leave, did the parents visit in May, June, July, or August of 2022?
I'm sure they had a couple in there, but it was spotty. It wasn't on a weekly basis. Sometimes it would go several weeks with no visit.
Were there instances where Jaquan was brought to the office and the parents failed to show?
Yes.
What was his emotional reaction to that?
Confusion when he would have to go back to the car without seeing them.
Did he express sadness?
Frustration, more so.
And with respect to the canceled and missed visits from January until you went on medical leave, did the mother provide an explanation to you why she was not visiting consistently?
There were a number of reasons.
What were those reasons?
Like I said, sometimes it was work. It seems like work was the most consistent reason I got for them not showing up, not being able to get off. Sometimes it was transportation, issues with the bus route being too far from the office. That was the excuses I got mostly.
Did they ask you to change the days of the week or times of the days to facilitate their work schedules?
Sometimes they would, and I would do my best to accommodate them. And I told them to let me know their off days, and we would work around their off days. And sometimes I just wouldn't even hear from them that week at all.
And when you attempted to accommodate their work schedule, did that seem to alleviate the missed or late visits?
No.
And with respect to drug testing, did you ask that the mother submit to drug testing while you had the case?
Yes.
With what type of frequency?
Usually monthly or every other month.
And did she submit in the timeframes as requested when asked by the department?
No, not every time.
Did she provide explanations for you about why she was not testing?
She would tell me, it would be more so like a resistance. Like, why do I have to do this? It wasn't really an excuse. It was more so a question to me. And then it just wouldn't get done.
Did you ask the father to submit to random drug testing?
Yes.
With what type of frequency?
Same frequency as mom. Anytime I asked one of them to go, I would ask the other one to go.
And did he test consistently?
No.
I'd like to direct your attention really quickly to proposed relative or kinship placements. Did you inquire with the mother about potential relative or kinship placements for the children?
Yes.
And what names, if any, did she provide to you?
The only name I got from her was her mother, the maternal grandmother.
And did she indicate that she would care for Chase, Jaquan, Holly, some combination, or none of the above?
Well, at the time, Jaquan was the only one in care, and the grandmother was willing to take Jaquan.
And were you involved with the children after their removal from the mother?
I was not Chase and Holly, no.
Did you inquire with the father about potential relative or family friends that could take care of Jaquan?
Yes, I did.
And what names, if any, did he provide to you?
He didn't provide any names to me.
Ask the witness.
All right, Attorney Watson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Waters, when Jaquan came into care, the parents were only ordered to do minimal services. Is that correct?
Correct.
I believe it was parenting classes, and the court ordered for Ms. Parks kind of one and done drug test at the initiation of the case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Were drugs the basis of this removal?
No.
You said you requested that Ms. Parks go test monthly. Is that correct? Or every
Correct.
other month?
Yeah, monthly or every other month.
In what method did you make those requests?
Via text, phone calls, sometimes when I would see her at the visits.
And were those methods consistent for each time, or did it vary depending on when you asked?
It was pretty consistent. It was more consistent with text, not as consistent as far as face-to-face because I needed to have documentation.
Okay. During your tenure of the case, did Ms. Parks keep the same phone number?
No.
And how did you become aware of that?
I would reach out to her mother if I went a while without hearing from her to get an updated phone number. Usually her mom was able to give me a new number if she had one.
And regarding the transportation and the bus passes issue, did mother at any point in time indicate that from her residence was not on a bus route?
No, she didn't indicate that to me. She did indicate that the bus route had switched at some point, changed routes.
Did she indicate to you at any point how far from her residence the nearest public transportation was?
No.
Do you know how far from the CPS facility where the visitation was taking place the nearest bus drops off?
She told me that it was about a 10-minute walk.
The visits during your time handling the case, were they more or less at the same time each week?
I tried to keep them around the same time, but sometimes we'd have to switch when I was trying to accommodate their schedule. So it would vary.
And how specifically did you all go about obtaining the information of their work schedule would conflict with a visit?
I would text them usually in the beginning of the week, asking them what their work schedule was looking like this week, what off days they have. I would tell them to let me know, next week what their off days were looking like so that we could pick a day that worked for them to schedule the visit so that I could make sure that they would be off.
And were the parents responsive to that?
Sometimes, and sometimes they wouldn't reach out to tell me their off days.
When they didn't reach out, did the visit take place at a certain day and time regardless?
No. If there were times where if I didn't know what day they wanted me to schedule the visit, then I just wouldn't schedule the visit.
So when you characterize them as missing visits, are those visits that were scheduled and they did not appear?
Yeah, so when I categorize them as missing visits, those are visits that were actually scheduled, and that they either no-showed to or texted or called me to cancel.
And when they texted and called to cancel, was that in time to ensure that Jaquan was not transported to the facility?
Sometimes it was, and then sometimes he would be on the way. Sometimes he was already there. It was never consistent.
And just to make sure I understand this correctly, your tenure with this case only really had to do with Jaquan once Chase and Holly went back home. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you have no affiliation or involvement in the case for the removal of Chase and Holly in October of 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
I pass the witness.
Attorney Sullivan?
So among the complications here, the parents both work retail, typically, correct?
I'm not sure. I know Dad was working at a hospital at some point and changed jobs quite a few times during the case.
Okay. And of course, buses make transportation a lot more complicated, right?
Yes.
20-minute drive in a car might take an hour and a half on a bus, right?
Right.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Okay. Attorney Reveles?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Waters, were you the caseworker on the case when Chase was removed?
No.
Okay. Did you visit Chase at his school or have any interactions with him at school?
No, I never visited Chase at school.
Okay. And have you ever spoken to his teacher?
I did email his teacher about his attendance.
Okay. Were there any concerns that were expressed to you by the school or the teacher with regards to Chase's care while placed with his mother?
Objection, hearsay.
Attorney Reveles, did you want to rephrase your question?
Yes, sir. Were you aware of any concerns with regards to Chase's care while he was placed with his mother?
Yes. His teacher made me aware that she had concerns
Objection,
about.
hearsay, or response relies upon hearsay.
Sustain.
Okay, can you answer the question without stating what somebody else told you?
Yes.
Just what were the concerns, I guess?
The concern was him missing school or showing up tardy and cleanliness.
Okay. And were the concerns with regard to cleanliness severe enough that the teacher personally provided his clothing?
Hearsay.
I haven't even finished my question.
I'm sorry, counsel, my mistake.
No problem, Attorney Watson.
Attorney Reveles, would you please repeat your question?
Yes, Your Honor, I will. I forgot it now.
It looked like you were asking about the concerns for cleanliness. Were there
Yes.
severe enough for the teacher to personally?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Were those concerns remedied by the school and or teacher providing Chase clothing so that he could attend school?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustain.
Okay. Other than cleanliness and attendance, were there any other concerns?
No.
Okay. And when you got off of this case, you pretty much didn't have anything to do with this case until I guess somebody told you to come to trial. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. So you are not aware of any information regarding the reason that Chase and Holly were removed?
Correct.
Okay. While you were on the case, were there concerns with drug use on the part of the parents?
Yes.
And what did the department do to address those concerns?
Try to send the parents for drug testing to confirm. That's really as far as I got.
And what was the result of that?
Mom tested positive for marijuana.
And prior to those results, did the parents have to be admonished by the judge to take the drug test?
Yes.
And did the department send the parents for any kind of drug treatment or drug assessment or anything like that? Once they tested positive?
Not while I had the case, no.
And just to clarify, the only services that the judge ordered at that time, which was in the very beginning of the case when it essentially was just Jaquan, were like parenting classes and random drug testing. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, parenting classes and a drug test.
Okay. And then was any individual counseling ordered at that time?
No,
Okay. And are you aware if any individual counseling or anger management or any of that was ordered at a later date? And if you're not aware, you can say you're not aware.
I'm not aware.
I'm gonna pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney McKinney, any other questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other questions for this witness?
I have one, Judge.
Okay, let me see. You may proceed.
Ms. Waters, you stated for Ms. Parks, during your tenure of the case, the only thing that resulted from the drug tests were a positive for marijuana. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is the use of marijuana typically the basis of a removal in CPS as you understand it?
To my understanding, no.
I pass the witness.
Okay. Any other questions for this witness?
Pass
No,
the
Your Honor.
witness.
No, ma'am.
Okay, can this witness be excused?
No
No
objection.
objection.
No objection.
Okay, Ms. Waters, thank you for your time here today. You are free to leave.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And Judge, may I call Cassandra Rodriguez and may I get a time check?
Yes, you have 18 minutes and 48 seconds. Attorney Watson, you have 42 minutes and 50. Attorney Sullivan, you have 58 minutes and 16 seconds. And Attorney Reveles, you have 51 minutes and 58 seconds. Let's take
Thank
a
you, Your Honor.
5-minute, you're welcome. Let's take a 5-minute break, give everyone an opportunity to stretch, and my court reporter definitely needs a break.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Electra, are you planning on calling anyone?
No, I have no additional witnesses.
I'm just trying to figure out if we'd get done today or not. What about you, Dan?
I think he may have stepped away.
Okay, it looks like we're missing mom again.
I will inquire behind her, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
He's connected. Okay. Ms. Parks, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. I'm
Okay,
just trying to cross the street safely.
okay. Oh, okay. Attorney McKinney, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to call Cassandra Rodriguez, and I believe she's in the waiting room still, Judge.
Okay, I'm admitting her now. Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, if you please take yourself off of mute. Okay, Attorney McKinney, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And would you state your name for the court reporter and spell your first name, please?
Cassandra Rodriguez, Kassandra.
And Ms. Rodriguez, how are you currently employed?
I am a child protective investigations investigator.
And how long have you been employed in that capacity?
About a year and 9 months.
And were you the investigator initially assigned to the case filed in the interest of Chase Miller et al. Children?
Yes.
And when were you assigned to that case?
I was assigned to that case September 16th of 2021.
And what was the nature of the referral that CPS received?
The allegations were for medical neglect due to Jaquan having severe eczema.
And with respect to that referral, without identifying the name of the reporter, was that reporter a lay person, a professional, or something else?
A professional.
And at the time that you received the referral, did you attempt to make contact with the mother in this case?
I did several times.
And when did you first attempt to make contact with her?
So I was assigned the case late on September 16th of 2021. So the first time I attempted to make contact was the next day, which was September 17th of 2021.
And whenever you attempted to contact the mother, where did you go to attempt to contact her?
The address that I had listed on the intake.
And were you successful in reaching her?
I was not.
When you did not successfully contact her, what did you do in response to that?
So I had stopped with my supervisor and I was advised to go out again the next day to try and attempt with her again.
And were you successful in making contact with her the next day?
I was not.
How many days did you attempt in a row to contact the mother?
So I want to say it was about maybe like 2 weeks.
And during that 2-week time period, let's take each of the children individually. Were you able to make contact with Chase, the oldest child?
Not initially.
Were you able to make contact with Jaquan?
Within that time frame?
Yes.
After about the 2 weeks, yes, I was able to meet with Jaquan.
And where did you find Jaquan?
At Children's Medical Center in Dallas.
And were you able to meet with Holly in that 2-week period?
No.
During the 2-week period where you were trying to see the children, did you have any conversations with the mother during that time frame?
Between the 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yes.
And when did you first make phone contact with the mother?
The first time I made phone contact with Miss Parks was on September 22nd of 2021.
And did you explain the purpose of your call?
Yes.
Did you request to see the children?
Well, correction, it was September 20th of 2021 when I received a call back from her.
And did you explain the purpose of your contact at that time?
Yes,
And did you request to see the children?
I did.
What explanation, if any, did she provide to you when you asked to see the children?
She wanted to know who the reporter was because it was false information that was being provided to us.
Did you ask her where the children were currently?
I did.
Did she refuse to provide that to you?
Did. Well, she stated that they were out of town, but
she-
didn't go.
Did she say where they were out of town?
No,
Did you attempt to see Chase at school?
I did.
Was he enrolled at school at that point?
He was enrolled, but was not in school that day.
How many times did you attempt to see him in school?
I attempted to see him once at school when I found out where he went to school.
And did you attempt to see Jaquan at daycare?
I did.
Was he at daycare?
He was not.
How many times did you attempt to see him at daycare?
Twice.
And what additional efforts did you make to attempt to locate the children?
I requested a special investigator to assist me with locating the parents and locating the children.
And did you continue to attempt to engage the mother in phone conversations to find the children?
Yes.
And would she, at any time between your initial investigation in September 16, 2021, until you found Jaquan at the hospital, did she ever disclose the location of her children?
When I made contact with her in the hospital for the first time, she had mentioned that the children were with their father at the father's cousin's home.
And when you described that you had to enlist the assistance of a special investigator, is that a different type of CPS investigator?
Yes.
If you are aware, did they have additional training to assist you in locating families?
Yes.
As part of the location attempts, was this family placed on a registry as a wanted or missing family by CPS?
So we put the children on what's called the child safety check alert list to include the mother and the father as well.
And is that an enhanced effort to try and locate this family?
Yes.
And when you made contact with the mother, you indicated you made contact with the mother and Chase at Children's Medical Center?
With the mother and Jaquan at Children's.
Excuse me, Jaquan, correct?
Yes.
And what date was that again, please?
That was October 5th of 2021.
And how is it that you learned Jaquan was at the hospital?
I received a phone call from the clinical social worker at Children's Hospital.
And when you responded to the hospital, did you have an opportunity to interview the mother?
I did.
And when you confronted her with the allegations about the medical neglect related to eczema, did she provide an explanation to you?
She mentioned that she had taken Jaquan to the doctor 2 months prior to this report coming in, but there was nothing that doctors could do for him at that time. So she brought him to the hospital to see what they could do, and they ended up giving him, I believe it was the cream that was applied to his skin, was what she was asking for previously by other medical professionals that Children's Hospital had finally given her.
And did she seem to appreciate that the treatment that landed her child in the hospital was a medical emergency?
Can you repeat that?
I said, did she seem to appreciate that the reason Jaquan was in the hospital when you saw her, did she seem to appreciate that that was a medical emergency for Jaquan?
Objection, speculation.
Sustain.
Did you have an opportunity to speak with the father at the time that Jaquan was hospitalized?
He showed up at the hospital the following day.
Did you attempt to contact him the day that you met with Jaquan and the mother in the hospital?
I did not, but the mother did call him in the hospital.
And how do you know that she called him in the hospital?
She was on the phone whenever I was in the room.
And what did she tell him?
Well, I had asked to see Holly and Chase. So I believe I didn't hear her entire conversation, but I believe she was trying to coordinate if they were going to bring them to the hospital.
And did you consult with any of the medical professionals at Children's?
I did.
And without saying what they told you, who did you consult with?
I consulted with the resident physician that was assigned to working with him.
Did you have the opportunity to speak to Dr. Reeder as well?
I did.
And other than interviewing the mother, interviewing or speaking to the father and speaking to the medical professionals, were there any other collaterals that you spoke to in making your recommendation for a removal?
I believe it was just the medical professionals and then my supervisor and the daycare.
And when you informed the parents that you intended to remove Jaquan, did you inquire about potential relative or kinship placements that could take care of Jaquan?
I did.
And what did the mother tell you?
The father provided a cousin, but due to her own CPS history with us, we were unable to use her.
So I'm gonna stop you right there to back up. Did the mother provide the name of a relative or kinship placement?
She did, her mother.
And did you contact Miss Wendy about potentially taking care of Jaquan?
So due to her not disclosing where Miss Parks and her children were, we didn't feel that it was okay to leave the children with her because she had not been honest with us throughout my investigation.
And did she attempt to secret the children from you when you were conducting your investigation?
At the time, I wasn't sure, but later on, Miss Parks had given me the address of her mother and stated that her and the children were living there. And I had told her that I'd been to that address about 2 times, and her mother mentioned to me that she did not reside.
Objection to hearsay.
Sustain.
And with respect to the father, you testified that he provided a cousin's name to care for for Jaquan, correct?
Correct.
And you said that do you remember the name of that cousin?
I don't remember like her full name, but I think it was Lakeisha for sure. She had 2 last names, but I can't remember the order that they were in.
And she was not considered based on CPS history?
Correct.
Did she have a CPS case of her own?
She did.
And with respect to Chase and Holly, did you have discussions with the mother asking her to produce those children to you?
Yes.
And when did you ask her to do that?
The day I removed Jaquan.
And how long from the time that you asked her to produce those children until you secured possession of them, how long was that?
I believe it was the following week. Yeah, it was the following week.
Did you have to enlist the assistance of law enforcement to secure possession of those children?
We did, but we did not have to use them.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Miss Parks and Mr. Miller had a parent-child visit the following week. I believe it was October 11th. And they brought Holly to that visit, and we removed Holly after the visit. And then while they were in the visit, we did a removal of Chase while he was at school.
And prior to that visit on the 11th, had you informed the parents that CPS had legal custody of their children?
Yes, I believe so.
And what response, if any, did the mother provide to you?
We had talked about it, and she had agreed to finally let me assess them.
And what response, if any, did the father have when you informed him that CPS had legal custody of his children?
He was upset.
Did he produce the children to you?
No.
Did you provide either parent with a copy of the court order to demonstrate to them that CPS had legal custody of their children?
I believe they were served with that paperwork. I don't think I provided it to them myself.
And other than the initial investigation in this particular case, have you had any other ongoing involvement with this case?
No, ma'am.
And were you responsible for setting up the initial services for the parents?
In the staffing with CBS, yes.
And were you responsible for setting up the initial services for the children as well?
No, I don't believe so.
And there was some previous testimony by Dr. Reeder that after Jaquan was removed from the hospital, that he had to return to the hospital for additional treatment. Were you the caseworker assigned when Jaquan required additional hospital intervention related to his eczema?
I was not.
Pass the witness.
Right. Attorney Watson.
I have no questions for this witness, Judge.
Okay. Attorney Sullivan.
No questions.
Attorney Reveles.
Just a few questions, Your Honor. Ms. Rodriguez, at the time that you placed, or that it was decided to place Jaquan into foster care, or actually all the children at that time, this is prior to the 14th day, you guys placed all the children in foster care. Had you exhausted your options for relative placements or any suitable placement that would be within the family? So
we did obtain another placement option. It was Mr. Miller's stepsister. We had, done the information to do a home study, and I believe the reason why we didn't use her was because last minute she backed out once her kids had to be involved with being interviewed. Okay. And at any point, did she reinsert herself as a placement option, or to your knowledge, did anybody follow up to reach out to her to see if maybe she had changed her mind or wanted to be reconsidered? During my case, no. And at the time of the removal, do you know what services the department were recommended for the parents at that time? I believe it was counseling, psychosocial evaluation. I believe that random drug testing, parenting, and I want to say psychological was on there. Okay, and do you guys do a any kind of investigation into whether there is drug history or whether there is a need to have parents drug tested, or is it just, it's a CPS case, we're drug testing? So when we do interviews, we ask the family, each individual that we interview, we ask them if they've ever used any illegal drugs, if they're currently using illegal drugs, if they smoke. I believe in this case specifically, one of the children stated that their father used marijuana.
Okay. And so did either of the parents self-report drug use or concerns with drugs or illegal substances?
The mother, I believe, did not, and I never got a chance to interview the father.
Okay. I'm gonna pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney McKinney,
And pass this witness.
okay. Is this witness free to leave?
No objection.
No
No
objection.
objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, thank you for your time and your patience here today. You are free to leave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I almost said you were free to exit the cabin. Okay. Call your,
Judge, rest, Judge.
okay. All right. And just for timekeeping purposes, you do have 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. Okay. Attorney Watson.
I have no additional witnesses, Your Honor. I rest.
Okay. And you have 42 minutes and 15 seconds left. Attorney Sullivan, you have 58 minutes and 16 seconds left.
And still I rest, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney Reveles, you have 49 minutes and 14 seconds left. You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm gonna call Deborah Mays.
Okay, I'm admitting her now. All right, Attorney Reveles, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mays, you were assigned as the volunteer advocate for this case back in 2021, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you've actually been on this case since the very beginning, is that true?
That's true.
And so when all three children were in foster care initially, Holly and Chase were placed together in a foster home, and then Jaquan was in a separate foster home. Is that sound accurate to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so with regards to Jaquan, what would, based on your involvement in this case for the last about 18 months, what would be your concerns if the court were to place the child with mother at this time, or to, you know, if that works, if the judge decided that Jaquan is going to go home to mom today, what would be your concerns, if any?
I would have some concerns based on the initial medical neglect, which I'm sure you've all covered, and the lack of follow-up in terms of going to appointments, knowing that this is an ongoing condition that needs a lot of attention from what I understand from his foster parents, the foster homes that he's been in. I know you're asking in terms of Jaquan, but also in terms of what went on with Chase in terms of the black
Okay, well,
eye.
let me stop you right there so we can just go kind of in order and make it very clear for the court.
Sure.
With regards to Jaquan and the concerns that you have for Jaquan, is to your knowledge and understanding of what he needs in order to be healthy, is your understanding that his eczema condition is stable right now? He is, you know, we would say doing well. Would you say that?
I would say he is doing well at this time in terms of his eczema.
And is it your understanding that based on the level of care that he requires, that he would have to continue to be treated, continue to have all of the appropriate measures taken, be taken to appointments, and so in order to manage his condition and keep him safe and healthy?
That's my understanding, absolutely.
Do you have concerns about the mother's ability, understanding, and willingness to do that?
I do.
And why do you have that concern?
Based on Jaquan being put into care, I think some other things point to a lack of concern generally, also in terms of not necessarily making it to visits when the kids were in foster care. That might point to willingness to then be able to do the things medically that are needed as well.
Okay. And is it your understanding that services are designed to remedy, right, the reasons that children are in care, or to give parents certain skills and knowledge to be able to care for their children in a way that kind of eliminates the need for CPS to get involved? Is that your understanding?
Yes,
And do you believe that that has been accomplished in this case?
I do not.
And with regards to Mr. Miller, what would be your concerns if the court were to return the children to Mr. Miller at this time?
Similar to those that I've expressed, in addition to the failed drug tests also playing a factor.
Okay. Do you believe that the father puts his children's needs above his above their mother's?
No,
And with regard to his actions and decisions in this case, has he seemed to place Ms. Parks's needs in front of his children's?
yes.
Objection calls for opinion.
Okay, hold on 1 second, because there's two things going on right now. The objection was calls for an seems to place Ms. Needs overruled, and I'm admitting mom back into the meeting. She dropped off.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mays, you may answer.
I'm sorry, will you please repeat the question?
I was asking with regards to the actions that you have seen the father take throughout this case, do you believe that he prioritizes the mother's needs over his children's?
I do.
And with regards to the actions that you have seen the maternal grandmother take in this case, do you believe that she is that her priority is to support her daughter rather than protect her grandchildren?
I do.
And with regards to Chase and Holly, now, how old is Holly?
She's 2 now.
Okay, and when we started this case, she was just a few months old, would you say?
Yes, she was maybe, yes, she was not 1. She was maybe 10 months old at the oldest.
Okay. And how old is Chase at this time?
Chase is 7.
Okay, and so we are talking about 3 rather small children who still continue to have a lot of needs. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes, I agree with that.
And has anybody in this case shown a willingness to provide stability for these children?
I'm assuming you do not mean foster parents, so no.
Of course not. I mean, the parties or parents or anybody that have been looked at as a possible placement for the children or support for the children.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, and so are you aware of what the plan is with regards to these children?
I am not aware of the plan at this point. Other than giving recommendation in my court report, but I do not know the plan at this point. It seems as though a lot of options have been exhausted.
And so what was the recommendation that you're making with regards to these children?
CASM is recommending termination and adoption in order to provide stability and permanence for for the 3 siblings.
Okay, now, if there was a way for the court and or the department to identify a suitable relative who is safe and can provide stability and who is willing to do that for these children, would CASA's recommendation be to place with that person, that option?
Absolutely. That's always the goal.
And so part of the,
Hold on 1 second. Mom dropped off. I'm admitting her back now.
thank you, Your Honor.
And I stopped your time.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
And so, is part of your recommendation that you've made to the court today, in part because there just have not been any other options?
Yes, that's correct.
And you understand that this case is in extension,
I am.
which means we are kind of down to the wire when it comes to what the options are with regards to these children.
Correct.
Do you feel that the department have done their due diligence in regards to finding a relative or family or even fictive kin placement for these children to be able to establish stability?
What I've seen, yes.
Given Jaquan's, medical needs, and also Holly still being a baby, do you think that these children will require a little bit more protection and care, or less than the average child?
More.
Okay, and with regards to Chase, do you know why Chase was removed from his parents? What is your understanding of why he was removed?
The second time,
Yes.
because he went to school with a black eye that he alleged he was due to his mother striking him.
Okay, and at the time that Chase was removed, did you visit Chase around that time?
Once he was placed in foster care, yes.
Okay, and by the time that you visited him, did he still have a black eye, or had his injuries healed at that time?
They had healed some, not completely.
Okay, and did, to your knowledge, if you know, did Chase make any other outcries of physical abuse with regards to anything?
Not to me, Chase. Other children, yes, but not Chase verbally to me.
Okay, and what would be your, are you concerned about the fact that the grandmother in this case and the mother and the father, essentially nobody seems to believe Chase, right? Are you concerned about that?
I am concerned about that.
And how do you think that this lack of protection and or lack of belief of this child, even though he had visible physical scars, do you think that, how do you think that placing him back in an environment where no one believes him would affect him?
Well, naturally, he's not been believed when he.
Objection to speculation.
Attorney Reveles, would you like to rephrase your question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm gonna break it down into a little bit. Okay, so Ms. Mays, are you concerned about the fact that the parents and the maternal grandmother in this particular case have expressed that they do not believe Chase was physically harmed?
Yes.
Now, you testified earlier that you physically saw Chase around the time that this report was made.
Yes.
So is it concerning to you that despite there being literally a black eye on his face, the parties in this case are saying This didn't happen.
Objection, mischaracterization of the testimony.
Sustain.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney McKinney, you have 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. Do you have any questions for this witness?
I don't, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Attorney Watson?
Just briefly, Judge. Ms. Mays, how many one-on-one conversations have you had with Ms. Parks?
None.
Okay. In any capacity, written or verbal, you have not had any one-on-one communication with Ms. Parks?
That's correct.
Okay. So, is it fair to say that the information that you've been able to obtain, none of that has come from mother directly to you?
That is correct.
You also stated that you had concerns, I guess, regarding drug usage.
Correct.
And what is your understanding of mother's drug usage?
That she failed to take court-ordered drug tests.
Objection,
initially.
non-responsive.
Sustain.
Do you believe that mother uses drugs?
I believe that she, I can't comment to that, I don't think.
Okay, but you indicated that you had a concern regarding drugs, but you can't comment as to whether or not you believe mother uses drugs
What you mean currently?
during the course of the case.
Yes, I have concerns that during the course of the case, there was drug use, yes.
Were you made aware of any of the drug test results?
I was.
And what is your understanding of those results as it pertains to mother?
That they were negative.
And yet, as you testify today, you indicate that you still have a concern regarding drugs.
Initially, that she did not take the court-ordered drug tests at the time, given an ample amount of time allotted, yes.
Okay. Now, the drug tests that were made available to you, or that you have knowledge of the results, is your understanding that those tests were hair follicle tests?
I believe that was the case, yes.
And do you understand that hair follicle tests go back an extended period of time?
Yes.
And is your concern regarding drug use the same for father?
No.
Do you have a concern regarding drug use as it pertains to dad?
Yes.
And how is that concern different than the concern that you articulated for mom?
Because he tested positive for his drug test.
And what is your understanding of what he tested positive for?
Marijuana is what I'm aware of.
And based on that knowledge of the marijuana, that is the basis of the evidence of your concern regarding drug use.
Yes, yes.
I pass the witness.
Okay. Attorney Sullivan?
You indicated you'd had no direct conversations with Ms. Parks. Have you had any direct conversations with Mr. Miller?
I have not.
Have you been to the apartment in Houston to check it out?
I have not.
Were you given the address?
To my knowledge, I do not have the address.
Okay, were you aware he had an apartment in Houston?
I am aware, yes, sir.
Did you make any effort to get the address?
I did not.
Did you ask to go there?
I did not.
Pass the witness.
Okay. Any other questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Attorney Reveles?
Yes, Your Honor, I have no other witnesses.
Okay, all right. So Ms. Mays is free to leave.
She is.
No objection.
Thank you. Ms. Mays, thank you for your patience today and thank you for your testimony. You are free to leave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So all sides rest,
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
be closing.
Your Honor, I don't know when will be appropriate for you for me to give my recommendation, or if you even need it, if you've already figured it out. I don't know. I'll leave that to your discretion.
Yes, well, I wanted to give all of the other attorneys an opportunity if there was anything else left they needed to say before I got your report. So
I have no additional witnesses or exhibits, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to take judicial notice of my summary of requested relief that was filed among the papers of the court. Other than that, I do not have any additional evidence to offer.
okay, the court takes judicial notice of all contents of the court's file. Attorney Reveles, if you wanted to go ahead and proceed with your report.
Yes, Your Honor. If I am completely honest with the court, Your Honor, I'm very surprised that this case got to this point. I had every hope that this is a case that we would have been able to accomplish family reunification, and I am in some ways just disappointed that that could not happen. Also, given the amount of support that the parents had, thought that we'd be able to reunify the children with family as well, and that hasn't happened. And so just with my general belief that, family is a better place for children than the state. I don't think the state's a good parent generally. I am disappointed that we have not been able to make that happen. Given that, and I was really holding out hope that something would happen with that all the way up until we got to this point. Given that, Your Honor, I do believe that it's time for these children to finally have some stability. They have been going through this entire system for almost 2 years now. I mean, the youngest child was literally a baby when we started this case, and now she's 2 years old. And the only way that I can see for that to happen at this point, Your Honor, is to go ahead and terminate the rights of the parents so that these children can be able to be adopted and finally achieve some stability. And so with those caveats, that is my, with those hesitations and reservations, that is my recommendation to the court at this time.
Thank you. Okay, and we're off the record. I have a couple of questions. If anyone can answer this for me. Does any of the attorneys know of a drug testing facility in Houston?
I believe that some of the people that are contracted have locations in various cities. I don't want to speak for the department.
So Judge, my client has specifically provided drug testing to the parents in Houston and the caseworker that is on the call. And I anticipate she could give the specific address where she has specifically asked them to go in the past.
Okay. Yes, that address.
Just. The one that I sent the parents to last month was National Screening Center. And I did locate this one by using the address from dad's and also checking to see if they accept the state paid 2054.
Do you have the address of the actual facility itself?
407 Fannin Street, Houston, Texas, 77002. And I have the contact number as well.
Okay, give me the zip code again.
77002.
Okay, thank you. And what is that contact number?
713-226-7847.
226-7847. Would you happen to have a contact person?
No, ma'am. So I usually just call and ask do they accept the state, like the 2054.
Okay, the court is going to reserve a ruling. We can go on the record for that part. The court is going to reserve the ruling in order that the parents submit to drug testing at National Screening Center at 407 Fannin Street in Houston, Texas, 77002. They have to perform this drug test no later than 2 p.m. on tomorrow. So, Ms. Parks and Mr. Miller, if you would turn your cameras on. Okay, did you all hear my instruction about submitting to a drug test tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. That's in the south side though. We stay in the north side. That's why I was telling Tanisha. She looking up like we have a car. We don't have a car. I don't have a car. So it takes like 4 or 5 buses to get to the south side. I stay in the northeast. She's trying to send me way on the other side of town without asking me.
Hold on, Mr. Miller. Hold on 1 second. Would you happen to have a location that is closest to the parties?
I can check for another location. I know before when I chose this location, I actually pulled bus routes from his current address to that location, as well as his old address to like the Dallas location that he was going to check and see how far the bus route would be.
Okay.
I apologize. And I believe the testimony today is that the mother is here in Dallas. And so perhaps if the court is inclined to order her.
I never said that, ma'am. I'm not in Dallas.
Hold on, Ms. Parks, hold on 1 moment. Hold on 1 moment. Attorney McKinney, she said that her permanent address has been in Dallas with her mother, but right now she's in Houston with a family member.
Okay.
So if the department can find a location that's closest to the parties, that would be great, because I don't want the reasoning for them not to be able to perform the test is transportation issues. So I would like to have something convenient for them if possible.
May I ask a follow-up question, Judge?
Yes.
Ms. Parks, are you also currently on the north side, since you and Mr. Miller do not reside together? I can't hear you, ma'am. You're on mute.
Ms. Parks. You're still on mute, Ms. Parks. I sent you a prompt to unmute.
Hello?
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that side is more closer because the bus lines are more convenient to get to, because on some they stop like in different areas. So that area would be closer, as long as it can drop me off in front, where I don't have to walk that far, then I can be able to do it. As long as it's close where I can get off the bus and it's walking distance.
Maybe I didn't understand. Maybe I didn't hear the initial answer. So you are on the north side, ma'am?
Yes, as long as, because it's different buses, they go different ways. So as long as I'm on like a drug testing spot where the bus is able to go in front of it instead of me have to walk miles to get to it, then I'm able to make it. I just gotta pull it up through the bus system because I don't know the bus system that good down here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Miller, do you work tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. But I can leave early though. I'm trying to make up all the money I can because I start my new job Monday.
Okay, so Mr. Miller, I understand the inconvenience of the bus routes, but I would highly recommend that you try to make this happen tomorrow, considering the severity of what we're dealing with and the state requesting and recommending. And you also heard CASA as well as the ad litem recommending the termination of your parental rights. So I think it would be best if you would try to go ahead and make this happen tomorrow by 2 p.m., okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we already have a location. CPS has provided that location, and to look for something subsequent, considering the resources that are available, it would just delay everything. And I want to make sure that there's some finality sooner than later. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Ms. Parks, you understand? I couldn't hear you.
It's my phone. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
It's
I
okay.
apologize.
No problem, no problem. Do you all need the address again to the
Yes,
screening?
please.
If I could,
Yes,
so that I can
ma'am.
make sure that Ms. Parks has it in writing.
Okay, so it's National Screening Center. That's 407 Fannin, Fannin Street, Houston, Texas, 77002. The phone number is 713-226-7847.
You say 7847, Your Honor?
Yes,
Thank you.
713-226-7847. And I'm ordering that there is a urine as well as a nail test.
Okay, Judge, and you know that sometimes people, if they bite their nails or whatever, it's sometimes possible they do not have enough nail to give. Mr. Miller, I'm gonna guess he hadn't got enough head hair for that matter either. So I don't know if you want to put any instructions in case there's an issue there.
Toenails will work. So you all, when you show up tomorrow, you need to have either fingernails or toenails. Because if you do anything to negate a test being able to be performed on you, that's going to count as a positive test. Do you all understand what I'm saying? I can reach your lips, Mr. Miller, but I couldn't actually hear you. It looks like
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to make sure because I do bite my nails. I'm a nail biter. I don't like nails, so I don't wear fake nails.
okay, but you don't bite your toenails, do you?
I mean, I could. I don't like nothing long. I don't like my hair long.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I don't like hair. I
just
don't like nothing long.
don't bite.
I mean, I can give what I can.
Okay, don't bite on your nails or your toes tonight because we're going to need those nails for tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All right. So do you all have any questions before we conclude for today? I don't want you all to be confused logging off today.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Miller, you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do any of the attorneys have any questions?
No, Judge.
No,
Okay.
No, Judge. Are
All
we,
right.
is there is the court just, how are we going to know when the court gets the drug test results, and are we coming back, or is the court just going to render?
Thank you for that question. I will, as soon as we get the results back, I will have my coordinator send an email to notify you that the results are back, and then I will just send out the ruling as well.
And Judge, just so I'm clear about what my client's expectations are, do you want me to file those and drug testing results directly with the court, or?
Absolutely.
And if the parties are okay, just in the interest of expediting it, and do you have an objection to me and emailing Judge Bailey an order today so that'll be available for the testing facility tomorrow rather than circulating signatures?
Please just send it directly to the judge.
Yeah, I'm no objection to that.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Thank you. And Attorney McKinney, if you get that to me this evening, I'll go ahead and sign it.
I'll do it right now, Judge, as soon as we're done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your patience. And we will conclude for today.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes, be safe. The weather is bad.
Thank you.
Thank you.